final between two of the best in the game. So will Ko Pin-Yi add another standout moment to his stellar career? Or will the big Albanian end the night whistling a catchy tune? It's a whole new format for the World Masters this year. All the matches longer than they've been before. We had race to 9 in the first round. Race to 11 threw up so much drama in both the quarters and the semis, but now there's a further step up. It's race to 13.
Eklent Kaçi to break.
Between two players both appearing in the World Masters final for the very first time.
Decent start. He's made the one ball, which he's done time and time again in this event.
Yeah, a little action on the 9, and we might get to see a pretty sweet shot here. The blue 2 does play in the corner. But can he shoot this, Carl, and go to the side rail and go between the pink 4 and the black 8 to the top rail and then up behind the 3?
I don't know if the 3 pots, JJ.
Yeah, maybe not. He may have an attacking angle to open them, huh? The black 8 and the red 3.
Yeah, that gives us a bit of a better idea. There's definitely some sort of action in. He's got to power this ball through. He does possess a lot of cue power.
Yeah, this ball, if he hits it like I think he does, has a little arc to it. Wants a little nick of the red 3. Wow, what a shot.
Eklent Kaçi is 24 years of age. He wouldn't quite be the youngest winner of the World Masters. Darrell Peach was only 23 when he was the champion. In 1995, beating Lee Kendall in the final in Blackpool.
Yeah, he may want another little flick into the pink 4 here. Or he could use the 8 to slow the cue ball down. Nice effort. Now the rack sets up nice. I'm real curious to see if, when Ko gets to the breaking end, if he continues to break the balls a little harder like he did at the end of that last match. Really struggled on the break about 3/4 through.
This is so far so good from Kaci. It was a good break. Wasn't an easy layout, so he took care of the early part of this rack. Trying to find the top rail, which he has done.
Does he draw by the 9 here, Carl, off the green 6, up the side rail?
Yeah, I think there's a nice gap there. 7 goes in both middles, but why would you risk going across the face of the 8? Slide down past the 9.
Definitely has a choice here. He's going to the short rail on what will be the bottom of your screen with the cue ball. He can come up for the 8 in the upper corner. Most would move for the side pocket. Oh, he's going with a high ball here. Oh, that looks a hair dangerous.
Trying to hit the long rail first, is it?
Yeah, that looks... And it's not really necessary, right? He can cue the bottom of the ball. Gotta believe he's going to go with a downward stroke. Maybe the 7's a little thinner. It's a great camera view there.
Yeah, I'm with you, JJ. I prefer this hit here. Maybe he was just having a look. I'll get the job done nicely.
Yeah, good policy is when you play pool is more of what's needed versus what you want to do.
Took Eklent Kaçi until rack 7 to open his account in the semi-final earlier today against Niels Feijen. Off the mark straight away tonight in the most emphatic manner. He leads 1-0. So both of these guys played a race to 11 earlier today, and of course in both cases it was emotionally draining and very close. Does fatigue come into it at any point towards the end of this if it goes close again, or is it such a big thing for them that adrenaline will just take over?
Adrenaline will take over, yeah. I think even if you're completely shattered, I don't think it matters, does it? You just got to, cliche, ball at a time. And
yeah, they've had a little time to, you know, kind of regroup. You know, these players stay mentally and physically fit. I don't see anything like that slowing them down too much.
Once the adrenaline goes and they wake up tomorrow morning, they assume there's a massive slump to follow. But a price well worth paying. Kaci leading 1-0 in the final.
Excuse me. And this situation here, I think, is where Kaci has really stood out from the other players in this event, is coming with the opening shot that isn't easy, right? After the break, he's done so many, and earlier did some really late in the match. And that's been the most impressive to me, I think. Yeah,
and I think obviously he's going to take this 2-ball on, and I think one of his big strengths is his cue action. He's a good single ball potter, isn't he? So this really lends itself to this. Because from point to point, this table is 4 inches.
Looks like he's got to ease this in as well. Wow, that's another thing. Really confident going up and down the table.
To find that little window, that was a good shot.
Yeah, and we talk about players all the time. Of course, all great players here at the World Pool Masters, and there's another 50, by the way, in the world. But some, once they get the starter down, they keep control real well. But some have problems with the starter if it's tough. It seems Kaci's handled that exceptionally well this week.
And it's been an epic journey for him. Oh, hang about just a moment. Yeah, the maximum possible number of racks you could play to get to the final under this extended format would be 59. Well, Kaci's played 58. 9-7 against Alban Ocean in the first round, and then Hill finishes against Mario He yesterday and Niels Feijen earlier today.
Yeah, this is a funny shot, laying on the rail. You want to apply a little inside English. A little high right would do too, coming one rail down for the purple 5 in the side, but I kind of like the high right versus the high left here to go around the 8.
Yeah, he finds himself in this position because he didn't put the 3-ball in the centre of the pocket. It went in thick. If he'd have potted it clean, the cue ball would have hit just before the centre and gone a little higher.
Yeah, what looks like setting up for a combination on the green 6 into the 9. There's a kiss shot available too, but you figure him to roll forward for the combo.
Yeah, can he just avoid hitting the 6? There was a bit of an angle there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think if he eases it, he's okay.
Always looked a little near jaw, didn't it? As you could see, it was rolling. It was always a little dicey. That one is another look.
Yeah, and without asking, Eklent, I mean, I would guess he prefers the shots that are medium speed or even a little more, you know, pace to them, right? He had a miss in the side against Niels as well in the last match in a similar situation.
You might have noticed there the word perfection is tattooed on the side of his neck. Up until that point, that's exactly what it was. But having passed up a really good chance, it has to be said, to lead 2-0. Eklent Kaçi finds himself pegged back by that 6-9 combo. It's 1-1.
So you think, Carl, just a miss there on the purple 5? Concerned about the cue ball, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know about you, JJ, but whenever I had to roll the ball, I just didn't like it. I think if I'd have felt I was running a little close to the 6, I'd rather bump into something there.
Right.
Because I'd want to hit the pot a bit more positive.
And this is the ball he missed.
Yeah, it's for the better players. It's just, you know, they want to feel in control of the shot a little more. And when you're rolling the ball, you just feel like a lot can go wrong. And you could tell he missed his mark on the cue ball by some piece.
Third rack, convenient break.
So we're going to get a good
One
look
rack
now
each.
at the break of Ko. Let's see where he's at with this. Catches 2 breaks and made the 1 ball on both. Ko's breaking from the other side.
We've seen that occasionally when the one was missed short this week. It would 1 rail in the upper corner. Brings back some of the Mosconi Cup memories. Team Europe doing that quite a bit this last December. And now he's in a nice position. He can make a decision. Do I want to go into the 4-9, open that up to hold for the 3? Can I go around the pink 4 and 9 to get on the 3 and play a combination later?
Still hurts December, doesn't it, JJ?
Of course it does.
Combination, it can still be made, can't it, JJ?
Yeah, it's pretty nice, and it looks like to me just cheats the pocket on the red 3, uses the side rail, the end rail to come up between the purple 5 and the brown 7. Oh, he's full enough he can just draw the cue ball. Interesting there to draw by the brown 7 like that, though.
Extension code.
Combo for combos. 6-9 to level up 1-1. 4-9 to take the lead for the first time in this World Masters final. Ko Pinyi 2-1 up against Eklent Kaçi.
Continue to
Walk
break.
away with a check for
Leading by 2 racks to
$40,000.
1.
Oh, that's a lot better. That is a lot better. Yeah, he's no shot on the 2 as in a pot. But we know by now the players are trying to pocket the 1.
Yeah, even with no shot, Carl, it's a good sign for this long race to 13 with a little better break off there. He's got a couple options on the safety. He's got a bit of a delicate one playing off the blue 2 to hold the cue ball behind the red 3. There's some serious congestion between the pink 4, brown 7, and the black 8. Could run the cue ball couple 2-3 rails behind those. You don't mind dragging the ball with a little right English here, catching the 2, blue 2 on the right side. You could get him behind the 3. You could play behind the 6 as well. Wow, he's going for the shot and the safety. Pretty nice strike there on the blue two.
Yeah, well thought out, well hit as well, because it's easy to start losing the cue ball, isn't it, on them shots? Good to see we're going to get a new winner as well this year, isn't it?
Absolutely, especially, you know, it's all class here. 2023 should hit this one.
So more than hit it and just avoided the scratch.
And I hope he can get at this red three, because I think he'll attack. Trying to put a little speed here. Going a couple rails to open up. Maybe the pink 4 and the black 8.
May get second best prize here. We'll see in a minute when he moves out the way. Well, no. That was never going to be easy. The cue ball was tight on the rail.
Yeah, and really that's where he's excelled, I think, over the rest of the field, really, when he had to power up a little bit when the cue ball's near the rail. Now, maybe the short cue comes out here. I think he is snookered. But you'd highly probably think he's gonna, if he does jump it, or I guess he may kick at this. Probably doesn't want to pocket it, though.
Extension code.
Eklent Kaçi, one of Albania's leading sportsmen. It's not a country that's been blessed with much success on the international sporting stage over the years. They've never won an Olympic medal of any colour. Did qualify for the European Football Championship 2016 and had a win over Romania. It's hard to think of many big names from that country anywhere in the sporting world. You know, weightlifting is very big there. Kaçi himself looks like he could bench press quite a bit.
Yeah, very intended to bang the red three around, and a lot of control with the short cue.
The last few matches we've seen, JJ, on this table, they've really delivered, haven't they? The last 4, 5, 6 matches, I think.
Yeah. It's not easy out there, and you can tell, excuse me, just players want it badly, and I think every player, maybe besides Kaci, the nerves have gotten him at one time or another this week. There's a simple safety behind the 6. With the 4 so tied up, probably not going to be a hard jump to take on. Maybe the good shot.
Been in finals, nothing new for Ko Pin-Yi. He's won so many important tournaments. He won the World Championship back in 2015, and with Chinese Taipei won the World Cup of Pool the same year.
He's okay as well. Here's another look, playing off the edge. That was the way he played it. All about getting the distance, controlling the 3 ball as well.
Again, how good are they with the jump cue? Both of them displaying their skills in this rack. Another touchy shot. This comes up in a game of 9-ball pool every now and again, where you can play a lot of soft safeties knowing the pink 4 is heavily congested. You just don't want to give up something that allows him to pocket the red 3 and maybe attack into that pink 4 somehow.
Two-rail kick. Actually hit it very well. It's always difficult to get them safe.
Yeah, this is a slight opportunity. It's got enough angle to force the cue ball 2 rails around the 6 and track it at that congestion. I think he tries for it here. It's a little dangerous, right? You could make the red 3 and kind of trap yourself on the pink 4, but you could not go for the breakout, just get down below the pink 4 and play a safety.
Just going to float the cue ball over to the left, isn't he? But you think, wherever he leaves it, he's going to leave Kaci. Oh, wow.
Caught that way thin.
I didn't think you could actually play that shot. I thought you had to play it off 2 rails.
I agree, and I think there were some other shots there as well. He thought the pink 4 would obviously move out of the way, but he lost a little the line of the cue ball.
The modern era, they just grab the jump cue, don't they? Would there be a case for kicking here, do you think, JJ?
Yeah, absolutely. I heard your commentary, I think it was last night, that the players just assume the jump's the best, but it's more like a security blanket because there are a lot of kicks missed out here on the slick table. But definitely at times the kick is much more of a higher percentage play than the jump. Oh, this one turned out pretty sweet. A little fortunate maybe, but also a little fortunate that for Kaci that the purple 5 got a little covered up by the 9. I don't get too tricky with this. I think I kicked it a short rail. You could possibly use the 7 or the 8 as a blocker. Is there a kiss shot on the 9 off the purple 5? There is one, but is it really playable?
Yi, I think, looks a bit younger than his years, but he's almost a full decade older than his opponent. Cal will turn 34 during the forthcoming UK Open.
Yeah, he obviously set up what appears to be some type of safety, but I'll tell you, nothing's great. He could edge the purple 5. He could knock the purple 5 away, but that's dangerous as well.
Didn't play the 9, did he? Just played to get a good purple.
There's, again, a soft safety kind of behind the 6. Also would play off the left side of the purple 5.
Done a fine job there, hasn't he? They're nasty little shots, then. They can make you look a bit foolish from time to time. This has been an enthralling rack, this. We've had a bit of everything. Not a lot of balls to hide behind though, so you feel like someone's going to get a chance soon. Again, JJ, the old jump cue is out.
Yeah, and I don't mind the jump here, but I might go for the cross side bank if I thought it was okay. I know he's going to try and double bank this to the end rail, but the 9's there. There's a lot of blockers with the black 8 if Kaci wants to play safe. Might try and make this somehow.
I think he's going to try and get the cue ball back up to 6.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's hard to control both, though, where it sits. Oh, he's going to love this. May not have been totally intended with the 5 in the middle of the table, but it'll work.
Took a little gamble, but it's an educated gamble. Wow, how about this one? These have been rare this week for me. These type of jump shots.
Yeah, that looks like a very small pocket, even not going over the green 6. Needs that to get up table a little bit. Could be okay if it keeps going. Super thin on the side and no pocket in the upper part of the table. Co's not afraid of the thin hit. He's had some incredible ones this week. He's had a few that got away, but he may go for this cut shot. This cue ball's going to go up and down the table. Got it thick.
This is the chance Kaci's been waiting for now.
Yeah, things have turned against him since he missed the purple 5 when he had a good chance for 2-0. If Ko had made that cut shot just a moment ago, probably would have been looking at being 3-1 down. Now a chance to get back on terms.
And I don't know, you know Kaci real well. Of course, I love watching him play, but something definitely seems different as far as before he gets down on the ball, like a little more committed maybe to what he wants to do. But definitely it seems like when the big shots have come up, he's been at his best.
Yeah, he used to play a lot slower than Kaci. He used to stay down on the cue for an eternity.
Tell you, I took a second look at that one. Hit a little thick to the pocket. Lucky it was a pretty shallow angle, right? This is funny as well. We've seen a few of these in the last match with the Ranis to where, and also Ko, they kind of held the ball there for a super thin cut shot on the next.
Is he ripping this right back?
No way.
He is. Wow. Oh my word! What a shot he's played here.
He's gonna end up on top of this anyways. Good thing he's right-handed and about 7 foot tall.
Did get a lot out of that cue ball, didn't he? He really did.
Yeah, about 16 feet worth.
So got his chance when Ko missed the testing pot into the side on the purple 5. And for the second time in this World Masters final, they're level pegging at 2 each. He's got a good record in this World Masters. He's been in the semi-finals twice before. This is his first appearance in the final. And of course, this is a long-established tournament. This is the 30th anniversary of that initial staging in Plymouth back in 1993. But so many new tournaments on the scene nowadays, and wonderful events they are. Here's a flavour of it. UK Open that I mentioned there, that's in just over a fortnight from now. We've got the first Spanish Open, followed in the same venue by the World Cup. Junior events running alongside those. European Open back in Fulda for the second year. Then Atlantic City at the end of September for the US Open. The new Asian Open, or at least the newly revamped Asian Open, in October. And then the Mosconi Cup just before Christmas at Alexandra Palace.
Rack 5, Eklent Kaçi to break, to rack siege.
This man has played in 4 of those, missed the team last year, but he's in the final here.
Nice break. Is he going to get an open look at the 2?
I think he's sizing up, just coming up, excuse me, off the 2 to the rail behind the 6, maybe. He's elevating the cue here, Carl. I don't know what he's doing.
Man's a genius. How did he spot that one, JJ? Wow, he's been fortunate there.
Yeah, he ran into a few balls. I still don't know exactly what he was trying. Was he trying to go 2 rails behind the 7-8 and all that? Caught the 3 coming off the blue 2. Pretty fortunate to get a full ball snooker behind the 9.
Another example of Cole's jump shot skills there. Played that very nice to control both balls.
Yeah, I don't know. I might simplify it here and just kind of roll this at the blue 2. Trying to let the blue 2 just come up above the 8 a little as the cue ball comes up towards the 9. This is dangerous. With the 5 hanging opposite corner. He tries to play anything else. That's what I like. Just kind of let him roam, and hopefully you get the speed right. Looks like he's get served up a piece of the 2 ball.
Extension code.
Ko is remarkably, really, looking to be the first player from Chinese Taipei to win the World Masters. He's only the second ever to get to the final. Xia Weikai, 20 years ago, was edged out by Tony Drago for the title.
Very similar situation as the last for Kaci. Don't think he can get involved with doing a whole lot here. Again, maybe just roll this, try to come up on the 9. Nice shot.
His This rack turning out quite similar in its nature to the previous one, and it's raced to 13, so I hope you're ready for a long evening, gentlemen.
It's fair to say Cole's having a little bit of the run of the ball, and obviously this is what can just make the match start off a little bit slow. The fact that not leaving easy openers.
Part of 9-ball pool, though, a little fortune from time to time, and the key is to take full advantage now with an open opportunity to get that 1-game lead back. I think he wouldn't have minded playing a 4-6 combination here in a moment, but it shouldn't be too difficult. If you'll notice, and it's easy not to notice the purple 5 hanging in the lower right-hand corner. So would love to be on this bottom cushion. That makes it easy to get up on that 6. So he may cue downward here. Oh, he's going to just come one rail to the end rail. Oh, it kicked on him a little bit. It kicked a little bit.
Seen quite a few balls kicked today. We had several of them in Coe's semi-final this afternoon.
Extension code.
Well, it's been, you know, pretty humid outside, right? So that's why I said earlier I saw maybe the end rail bounce a little bit harder than I expected, and humidity definitely has an effect on all that.
Has to be a bit careful here, because this is going to be a lot harder to get back on the 6 ball, but I think he just wanted to hit it how we know he would have potted the ball.
Yeah, it's a little funny. If he was closer, I think he probably draws out off the purple 5. Displayed that big draw stroke just a game ago. Looks like he's trying to come out. This may kind of hydraulic on him and go towards the 9. Oh, he got nice thin hit on the purple 5.
So ran out from the break in the opening rack. Looked like he was going to do the same in the second. Missed the purple 5. Lost that rack and the next one as well. Trailed 2-1. But now, after 2 drawn-out racks, both of which he's won, Eklent Kaçi is ahead in this final once again at 3-2. So let's review the story of the rack. Quite an epic tale it was. It's the pink 4. Ko certainly felt he had had a kick there. And this was Kaci applying the finishing touches. He's really applied himself here. He's had to work hard for a 1-rack lead at a very early stage.
Rack 6, Eklent Kaçi to break, leading by 3 racks to 2.
And for the first time in this final, he's come up dry.
Yeah, and he's left a wide open table for Ko.
Yeah, the yellow 1 catching both the knuckles on the side pocket. Cue ball just a foot or so away from the yellow 1. Like Carl said, the ball's very open here, so time for Ko to get the arm a little more loose.
Ko's path to the final has been the less nerve-shredding of the two, but not by much in the last couple of rounds. Had to pull away from 7-all to beat Shane Van Boning 11-7, winning 4 racks in a row and a dash for the line, and looked second favourite for a lot of this afternoon against James Oranis. Again, put together a nice run of racks at the end. Come from 9-7 down and win 11-9. Prior to that, though, he'd had the only real one-sided match we've seen all week here, beating Jason Shaw 9-1.
Now he could kill the cue ball here and take a little cut shot on the purple 5. He can just go with the angle. Coming backwards to the bottom rail. He could go back and forth. He's got a lot of options here.
Said at the top of the show, it's a tournament that's been full of upsets. The other hallmark has been close finishes over the last couple of days for sure. Such a long way to go, but early indications are we're heading the same way again. It was 1-all. That later became 2
Extension
apiece.
code.
And Ko Pin-Yi deposits this routine 9-ball. They'll be dead level again. Ko Pin-Yi 3, Eklent Kaçi 3.
Rack 7, Ko Pin-Yi to break, 3 racks each.
Well, not been more than a rack in it either way so far in this World Masters final. The target of 13 still feels a very long way away.
Push out code.
We had our first dry break of the final from either player in the previous rack. Now they've had one each.
Yeah, always difficult with the push out, but even more difficult here. What would you do, Carl? I mean, phew.
Yeah, it's very tricky. Sometimes they try and roll another ball up somewhere.
Yeah, you could push the 8 up on the 7 maybe and leave the kick shot on the 1. That's what he's trying to do with the 7, but he may get it too tight. It's decent. Even money kick shot, right?
Yeah, he's going to tempt Ko. Do you think Ko should take this on?
I think it's early enough to, I mean, a lot of times people think pool's so clear cut, no matter what you do this, no matter what you do that. A lot of times it's how you feel. I think he's probably supposed to take it on to try and get control of the rack. I think he's even money or better.
Centre waiting for this final to spark up a little bit. The balls have determined how the early racks have gone here. Even the kick shot there, he was never going to really land on the 2, you feel. So now he's got to find a safety shot.
Yeah, it didn't appear the 2
Extension
went by
code.
the brown 7. If it doesn't, this is a bit tricky. Now he can cut the 2 into the 7 and run the cue ball with the inside English down behind the pink 4. It actually lays pretty nice to do this. He didn't get the contact on the blue 2. He wanted up table, a really good cue ball, but maybe just overhit it as far as the object ball.
Yeah, I'm sure Kaci didn't think he was going to come to the table with this shot from there.
Extension code.
He's got to dig on the cue ball one way or another. Forward is really not an option at all. It's a little too thin to hold for the red 3 and not quite thin enough, so he's really got to put some speed into this.
I think he's okay there.
Yeah, you know, one thing that maybe I've overlooked watching Kaci so much is I think he has just a little better understanding of the slick table. You know, letting it roll out at times, really trusting the bed. We all know he's got the power game, but I think at times, you know, Mosconi Cup, a few other times in big situations, the slick table got the best of him. Now he seems like he's got it under full control.
I was talking earlier about Albania on the international sporting stage, and they have had a bit of success in the World Cup of Pool in recent years, largely because of this man. Played with Bizarre Spahiu last year in this venue, beat Italy in the first round, only the second time Albania had ever won a match in the tournament, but they've both been in the last few years, so as I say, they are making a bit of progress, heavily beaten then by the eventual winner Spain in the last 16, but the same players will be joining forces again for Albania in the World Cup of Pool in Lugo next month.
pretty simple pull from here. Just come out to a stop shot on the black 8. You either roll forward for the 9 in the side or play the 9 in the lower right corner.
Eklent Kaçi leads by a single rack again at 4-3. Prize money for this World Masters has absolutely gone through the roof this year. Only last year, Joshua Filler was walking away with $25,000 for winning the title. Well, it's now $40,000. And as you can see, it's a case of double your money tonight, as it's been to some extent for the last few days. Anyone who made it through to the semi-finals earlier was guaranteed a 5-figure check, and then you could almost double that to 20,000, 40,000 to the winner. 125,000 the total prize fund, and that's up from 100,000 last year. That's Dezislava Bojalova from Bulgaria, refereeing the World Pool Masters final for the first time and completing a double. She did the nearest thing really in snooker, the Snooker Masters, last year at Alexandra Palace. Just a few weeks after we'd been there to see Europe attain the Mosconi Cup.
Yeah, both players just not got the range on the break yet. We've seen Kaci's break all week work absolutely splendid. What he's doing there is he's looking at the screen, wants to know where the one ball's gone, so on his next break he can try and make an adjustment and co-see the potting angle. I think he can. But the cue ball looks like it's going to run into the 2 ball if he goes forward.
I think he's got to run into the 2 here, Carl. I mean, he could stun draw, but could get a little thin on the 2, even have problems get to the 2. So maybe just a little flick off the blue 2 here.
It's come out nice.
Saw the graphic there showing there have been 3 dry breaks in the final. They've been the last 3 breaks.
Yeah, from the looks of things and his mannerisms, he can't do a whole lot here. To get much closer, must have fallen dead straight on the blue 2. So he'll take the tough shot on the 3. The red 3. Track the cue ball, probably some 4 rails here, Carl, for the pink in the same corner.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It lets you put the stroke out as well, doesn't it? You can give this a good old whack. Well, not a whack, but you know what I mean? Just give it a good stroke.
Oh, he's going to catch the 6, and I didn't see that coming, really. Maybe he overcut the 3 a little bit to the pocket. Didn't really see that, but yeah, that's the only way he could really catch the 6 with the cue ball.
Extension code.
Always considered him one of the best when he had to go back and forth with the cue ball. All the different types of variations you do that. Seems to always hit his mark with the cue ball really well. He's got to do so here.
Yeah, and you'll see this from Ko. What he's just done is like pre-shot routine. It's almost like he's building himself up for the shot, isn't he? He doesn't just get down and aim and kind of pull the trigger. He goes through this little, wipes his cue up and down for a little bit. Only does it on that big shot, the very big shot of the rack.
And his brother taking after him pretty much in most manners anyways.
So the trend continues after every second rack so far in this final. There's been nothing between them. It's going to be the same again. Who'd pick a winner now? Saw the odds pre-match, they were dead level. And they are in the scoreline now. It's 4 each. So apart from the fact that we're seeing some drawn-out racks and a lot of tactical play and the balls are running a bit awkward, you spotting any patterns at all? It's hard to discern many so far in this final.
Not really. I mean, you know, the break kind of gets the players going, right? I mean, they played really well, just haven't got the energy going just yet, just because the break slowed them down.
Yeah, you're not always going to land on the lowest ball off the break. There's been a few dry breaks. You just kind of get the feeling this final, we're just waiting for it to spark.
And we've also been waiting for all of these events coming up. The UK Open, its second staging after a very successful debut last year. That begins 30th of May, just after the bank holiday weekend here in the UK. And the Spanish Open for the first time in Lugo in June. And then after that, we'll have 1 day's rest before we start again at the same venue for the World Cup of Pool. Spain, winners for the first time last year. Now they defend on home soil. Ko Pin-Yi has won that before. He'll be there again with his brother, Ko Ping-chung. But right now, he's focused on the World Masters final.
Didn't hit them good at all, but it's actually turned out not too bad. Look at the cue ball. Look how low it goes down. It was hopping as well. It was very close to flying off the table.
Yeah, and I think Ko realizes he's got to put more power into the break shot, and maybe can't keep the control Kaci can, which not many that can do that anyways. Little funny shot here. Does he have to kind of stun by the black 8 off the blue 2 and then straighten it out to come across for the 3? It's an odd shot. You have the cue ball kind of stunning left, but then you have to check it with a little right spin maybe. Or maybe he just catches the 8 and goes through it like that.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work very nice. This is a great chance.
Sometimes in sport you get players who appear on the international stage and there isn't much expectation about them, but they turn out to be very good players anyway. Ko Pin-Yi is not one of those players because as a teenager he was marked out as star of the future, was world junior champion 2 years in a row. It really didn't take too long when he started playing in the big professional events to start making an impact.
Well, nothing easy here. You could see a little look at the cue ball. The pace wasn't what he wanted. The angle's a little flat. He's got to come with a shot here. Got to get into that cue ball no matter if he goes backwards or forwards.
this was nice. This was very nice there. Not easy to get the cue ball running forward up a couple of rails with a bit of left.
Saw him building himself up for the big moment in the rack once again there, as you mentioned earlier. Ko Pin-Yi led 2-1. He hasn't managed to get his nose in front again in this final. Until now, it's 5-4.
Rack 10, Ko Pin-Yi to break, leading by 5 racks to 4.
The World 9-Ball Tour is going all over the world these days, but this week it's just a mile or two away from its headquarters here in Brentwood in Essex. No clues really to be had from the first 9 racks of this final as to who's going to win the World Masters. 5-4 to Ko.
One ball's tracking closer. He's made a ball. And you can see the potting angle of the 1. Needs to play a good shot to get on the 2, though.
Yeah, really position on the 2 is what makes the 1 ball not so easy. He's got to probably put a little inside spin, a little right English to run what would be 3 rails to the center of the table.
Yeah, I'll be happy with that. More than happy with that.
Yeah, really should be the shot of the rack. Everything else sets up nicely. Real natural to run a couple rails for the pink 4.
Make you look a bit foolish then from time to time, can't they, JJ? Yeah, it didn't go in clean, if you like, but it went in, but they're really awkward then.
Yeah, for sure, and really, which I'm a firm believer in, but the stroke was pretty good overall, right? Kind of opens the pocket up a little bit. Easy to kind of quiver on that shot with the running English.
Yeah, Ko Pin-Yi, he really does cue a nice ball, times the cue ball nicely, gets a lot out of the stroke. The cue Ko Pin-Yi uses, it's a work of art. I'm not going to tell you how much the cue's worth, but it's very expensive. We'll try and give you a look at it at some point.
Nobody has been more than 1 rack ahead at any stage of this final so far. That's likely to change in 3 balls' time. How many times over the last few days have we seen a match where it's close like this and then someone goes a few in front and we think, okay, that's going to be the key phase of the match, and then the other player comes back. So we have to remind ourselves that even for all the effort Ko has had to put in to get to what's likely to be a 6-4 lead in a few moments, he's still not even halfway towards his target. Two very good comprehensive racks going the way of Ko Pin-Yi. And he does indeed become the first player to lead by 2 in this final at 6-4. Why aren't you going to tell us how much the cue's worth, Carl? Were you in on the deal in some way?
No, I mean...
A broker?
Yeah, there's a broker, no. I mean, I don't want it to get burgled, do I?
Yeah, fair point. He's using it to good effect at the moment. Eklent Kaçi has been reduced to the role of spectator for the last little while, but you still suspect there's a lot to happen in this final. Ko Pin-Yi, as I was saying, has been established for some time, but
Rack 11. Ko
after
Pin-Yi to
pools
break.
started to
Leading
reopen
by
again
6
a couple
racks
of
to
years
4.
ago after the worst of COVID, it took us a while to see him again. All the difficulties with travel and visas and restrictions and all the rest of it. So wonderful to see him here again in a big final as he looks to win the World Masters for the very first time.
Yes, the back arm is loosening up. He's got a 2-rack lead, and this is a good break. Gonna need a good shot, but at least he's got a shot on the 2 up into the left corner.
And you got to believe he's going to continue to attack. Finally starting to make some balls on the break, producing some shots. And again, nothing easy, but one he definitely fancies his chances. Pretty natural to come across for the red 3. And here you can't even really think about a safety. Don't even let that enter your mind.
Let's take another look. Yeah, it was always wide. He would have fancied that as well. Wasn't the most difficult of pots.
Extension code.
It's been a while since Eklent shot, so maybe pretty smart to take the extension there. It's going to get a little funny here on the red 3. Kind of wanted the cue ball to bounce a little more off the blue 2, creating a little different path. In hope of falling a lot straighter on the red 3. So here he doesn't want to roll it, but it is dangerous coming 2 rails back and forth.
Early signs, first sign the whole week really, JJ, where he's not stood up to the test. He's been under pressure in all the matches he's played. As we said, he was close match with Albin and Mario, and of course the semi-final against Niels was just awesome, but still fancied him to knock that ball in.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I brought up the extension he took. And once I thought, well, he hasn't shot in a while, maybe that's a good idea, but it doesn't take much to get out of line, and he would have sure liked to have had his extension there on the red 3.
Yeah, good point. These are the judgments you've got to make, I guess. And Ko will have seen that miss and surely thought, okay, maybe this is the moment to really take a firm grip of this final.
I totally agree with you, Michael, and probably didn't expect to get back to the table and was a little upset. He finally got the break going a little bit, put a few together, and now he gets to continue that really with no remorse.
He's seen his opponent sat down for a while. He's come out and had a bad miss like that. Maybe he's thinking, keep him in the chair for another couple of racks and make him go even colder.
Absolutely, and you know, he didn't play his best pool last night, but we know who Ko Pin-Yi is, and he's already played the best match of the event probably against Jason Shaw, so dangerous territory.
And he's now won 4 racks in a row. And so Ko Pin-Yi leads 7-4. And he's now closer to the end of that quest for 13 than the beginning. And we spoke to him before this World Masters final.
I'm very excited to final. I try to do my best. If win or lose, it doesn't matter. Just play just for fun. I think I can win, but Kaci is a very tough player, and I just do my best. So I hope this final I can play well, and it's tough match.
He's won the World Championship. He's won the World Cup of Pool for his country.
Rock 12.
Right now, he
copy,
looks
need to
like
break.
the clear favourite
Leading by
to win
7 rocks
the
to
World
4.
Masters. But Eklent Kaçi is more than capable of a big comeback. Niels Fine could certainly tell you that.
Yeah, and I was watching just his tip placement there as he came through, and it's, of course, pretty speedy swing, the break shot. Hard to keep total eye on it, but it definitely appeared it came up a little bit. Now, Kaci, I believe, does have a, well, he's partially snookered, so thought he had a look at the yellow one. A red 3 and 9 attached to each other in a real ugly manner.
Yeah, it was the break shot, weren't it, from Ko? Not quite hitting them full enough. Back-to-back break shots where it's been a bit thin. Okay, Kaci's chancing his arm here now. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, because the blue 2 is near that ugly 3-9, so a possibility to get that open and extend this lead. Can't overlook the 1 ball, but you gotta like his chances. Tough table, but it definitely toughens up more as the days go on. Day 1, I'm pretty sure that ball probably falls.
Yeah, when you look back though, he's not hit it right, has he?
No,
Should never
not
be
at all.
hitting that side of the table, should you, JJ? It's always got to hit the long rail. So he's actually missed it by a bigger margin than it actually looks. I can catch you get an angle here. This looks okay. Yeah, he's got a piece here, so what do you play here, JJ? What are you going into? Are you trying to be delicate, or?
Well, if the 7 wasn't there, the brown 7, you'd probably go to the back cushion and come into the 9. I think that's still a possibility, even though it's probably will be overlooked. I think just a light stun into the balls. You don't want to hit it real hard, but I'd love to go with a high ball if I could.
I think he is doing.
Yeah, I think that's the right shot if it's there. Just like that.
7 wasn't in the way.
Eklent Kaçi needs to win the rack here more than he ever has at any stage in this final. Ko had the early chance in this. Starting to feel like he might disappear over the horizon. And yet now, Kaci can get back to only 2 behind, with half of this final still to come.
Yeah, he was a little worried about overhitting or hitting another ball while drawing that cue ball. Put a little more into it and made this pink 4 getting to the purple 5 a little tricky. It kind of feels like the Aranis co-match to me a little bit, where, you know, Aranis had a few chances to kind of really I wouldn't say put it away totally, but put a ton of heat on his opponent. The same thing here with Ko. He's missed 2 balls down the rail, both of them very makeable. This is a little tricky because he can't come across off the
Extension code.
purple 5 too high. He'll run into the 8. And if he misses the 8, he may get on the wrong side of the 6 to get position on the brown 7. So what do you do here? Or do you just go ahead and play into the 8? That looks like maybe the shot.
Yeah, he lost the cue ball a little bit, didn't he, the shot before?
Yeah, it's really caused some problems here. Yeah, now he's on the wrong side. He's got serious issues. That's where I think I would have went ahead and just played softly into the 8. I think it just laid natural and it kind of made sense. Most of the time you want to avoid, you know, colliding with other balls, but if it's there, and this is obviously a safety behind the 9.
Well, good safety, but we'll be able to go at this one.
Yeah, makeable kick shot. And the good thing about this kick is he doesn't have to kick very hard, and the cue ball will continue downward towards this bottom rail. So if the 6 doesn't really like hang in the corner or get laid up somewhere, this could be a difficult situation for Kaci if he gets back to the table. Somewhere around medium here, Carl.
Yeah, go close to this. No, it's not there.
All right, hit the wrong side, but he's still not going to leave easy, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, Kaci's got to work for this rack now. Now he's messed up.
Can he cut the 6 and get a little piece of the 7, Carl, to push the 7 over and slow the cue ball down?
Yeah, that would be nice. He may play it with low left as well, just to throw the cue ball into it.
Yeah, be able to hit the 6 a little thinner.
Oh, he's having a bit of a meltdown here. He's been so solid, Kaci, hasn't he? Since we've been here, he's played his 3 matches. Every match he's looked absolutely solid as a rock, but is this final starting to slip away?
Relatively high number of missed pots. Kaci's had marginally more of them.
Oh, the thing about that miss was the cue ball.
Extension code.
Going up and down. We've given him all the kudos because he's made them all this week when he had to do things like that, right? But those types of shots, if you have to keep shooting them, they can catch up on you. Got to go here for the cross side bank, I think.
Yeah, he just completely threw his arm at that, didn't he? It was not hit well at all. Unlike that one, the bank shot from Ko to turn the screw.
Well, that's exactly what he's doing here, isn't it? And this could now take on the feel of being the most significant rack of the match so far.
Yeah, I don't think he's out of the woods. I think he held the cue ball too nicely on the bottom rail and made this very difficult. Cheated the pocket nicely.
Oh, he's done well there, hasn't he? Oh, yes, he's done well.
Oh, that's just perfect, isn't it? It doesn't seem like that long ago that we were saying it was just so tight and you couldn't find any patterns and neither player had managed to get more than a rack in front. All of a sudden, the gap could be 4. When you're struggling with your game a bit, as Kaci has in the last few racks, that must seem like a very big deficit to try to overturn. And that is now 5 in a row for Ko Pin-Yi. He leads Eklent Kaçi 8-4 in this final.
12 racks gone, and now it's quite apparent that Eklent Kaçi, who's been one of the stars of the show here this week, has got problems. Ko Pin-Yi is doubling up on his opponent in the final. Remember, it's a race to 13, so Ko is only 5 away from pocketing that $40,000 US first prize. Kaci fought back so well in the semi-finals. He was 6-0 down, remember, to Niels Feijen. So he's not out of this yet, but he has to eliminate, eradicate
Rack 13. Continue to break.
unforced errors.
Leading by 8 racks to 4.
So he's already broke and run on 3 occasions. Jeremy, how about this as a chance for a 4th?
Yeah, absolutely, and a very natural shot here, even though there's some distance. The red three's in a good position to just come across the table, maybe a little high left spin here on the cue ball. Very scary situation here for Kaci with figuring out the break a little bit. He's cueing downward. He may just hit like a nip draw to come straight across. He's so good at that shot. Just really flows through the ball nicely.
It's amazing, isn't it, Carl, how certain shots fit the eye of certain players.
Yeah, he got such a good touch of the cue ball. No, I keep saying that. That was very wide indeed. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. Obviously, the pace has helped that one.
Well, for me, that was wider than one he missed a little earlier into the bottom right-hand pocket. That was very wide. He must have thought he'd missed that.
Yeah, a little bizarre, that one. Not really sure how that ended up falling, but it did.
Extension code.
Maybe the lighter speed helped it out, but real scary with finally making some balls on the break, and has had spent most of the time at the table the last 30 or 40 minutes, and Kaci had a chance in the last, and we'll see when he gets another. And just caught inside the point on the pocket. Any more speed, I think it hangs up.
Well, let's put it this way. He was so flustered, he took his extension to settle himself down.
Yeah, and things like that can make you bear down a little longer on your next few shots.
And I think he recognizes or feels it's a huge moment. Kaci on the little timeout there went outside to get a breath of fresh air, and it's a bit chilly out there, but I've seen him do it every match. So trying to turn things around, but he's got to wait for his opponent to make that a possibility.
Well, this is worrying times now. Eklent Kaçi.
Opinion wins the rack.
Isn't it just? Bear in mind, Kaci led 4-3. No further success from there. It's a real head-scratcher. Tell you what, the 3-ball most certainly was. He can't quite believe it dropped, but it did, and that's just symptomatic, really, Jeremy, of the way things are going.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just got to keep his focus. He's got to, be patient. Michael talked about it earlier, how some of these matches look like they're going to get out of hand, and somehow or another things open up for the player trailing, and that's what you have to believe you're going to get an opportunity, and again, just stay patient.
Interesting there was a woman in the background in the crowd when the 3-ball went in. She was in disbelief.
Rack 14.
I know the feeling.
Opinion to
So
break.
was I.
Leading by 9 racks to 4.
watching this break lately from Ko, I think he's okay with the cue ball being below the rack. And he's figured out a little more how to make the one. You see how the cue ball's trailing more down below the rack, Carl? I think it's just giving him a little better chance at making balls.
Yeah, he's made a random ball, and I think the 7 went in the left centre, a cute angle and all. He's got a piece of the 1 ball.
Yeah, there's a little angle here, but really hard to move the cue ball a ton, it seems like. I think he can get at the 1. Anytime off of a full shot like this, the cue ball hits the object ball and then the rail so quickly, right? It takes that top spin and sometimes slows the cue ball down. So he may have to cheat the pocket here if he can get at that right side of the yellow 1. And that's where he's just really smart, not trying to overdo it. You know, reminding himself how good he is, right? Just got to make a nice shot on the blue 2.
This time he overcuts the 2 into the same pocket, but it's not so kind to him.
Yeah, he had a similar shot earlier in the match on the 3 ball that he overcut, but he did make it. This time a little too much to the top of the pocket.
Extension code.
It looks like he's barely cut off maybe on the 2 ball, that being Kaci. Didn't miss it by much here, Ko, but definitely one he'd like to have back. Super nice.
Yeah, that little flip. That working tremendous for Kaci. Already come back once against Niels. 6 down he was. So he's got to believe he can do it. He knows he can do it.
Don't forget in the quarters against Mario He, although he made a very quick start, he did trail 9-7 late on before getting the verdict.
Well, the hard work's done, just nothing silly from here. And hasn't been his best match breaking the balls. That's got to improve, assuming he gets out here to cut the deficit.
We sometimes forget these are men, not machines. This is acute pressure. But even so, with momentum, you would expect that Copigny would have potted that 2-ball. He didn't. That is a potential turning point. It's been a tournament where we've seen lots and twists and turns shifts in momentum. Are we going to see a final one with the title on the line? Is this match going to be a microcosm of the tournament as a whole? I think you're right though, Jeremy. He has been the best breaker of the tournament. Eklent Kaçi, he needs to recapture that magic.
Rack 15.
Yeah, you can see his route to the final. All close matches, just as close as they get. And you can see him kind of inspecting the rack from the top of the table, looking how, you know, how straight the rack is. Of course, it's great. Just sometimes the break doesn't agree. Interesting, he's switching sides. He's broke from the opposite side the entire tournament. And now goes to the right and loses the cue ball.
Yeah, he didn't really need to do that. I think he could have just stayed patient. He's obviously breaking well from the other side. I'm not saying he's broke great in his final.
Yeah, and it wasn't yesterday, right? He just played a semi-final where, for the most part, he broke the balls well. Obviously, he broke the balls well, overcoming a 6-0 deficit.
But any player at this level will tell you, Jeremy, and you know this from personal experience, so does Carl, breaking is so fickle, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why the new break rule is something else in my mind. It's kind of like the driver in golf, you know, you'll have it 1 or 2 days and you're like, okay, I finally figured this thing out. And then that's Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday afternoon, you're like, okay, what's going on here? All right, really nice speed here, and he's got a little bit of options, but he got, I think, ideal to stun up kind of short side on the red 3. A lot of work, though. You could see the green 6 is in a funny spot. Now, he doesn't want to end up way short here, to where he has to contact the purple 5 while playing the red 3. Oh, he's perfect. You can see him really paying attention to that cue ball. And the reason why it's so important not having to contact the purple 5 is not because of the 5 ball, but mainly to get on a tricky green 6. This looks nice. Very natural to come 1 rail across. All about your talent and your speed control.
Yeah, he's just looking to use the second rail, I think, isn't he, to come back out with a 6.
I don't think I used the second rail here, Carl. I probably spread the cue ball with a hair of right spin myself.
Extension code.
Especially if I'm close to the ball, right? Put a little more power. This could kind of bounce off the 5 ball. A little different manner than he expects. The 7's pretty near, so. We all like to use those rails as your reference point, right? But sometimes you just got to use your talent. If he hits behind this could get funny, see? And that's why I think I stay away from the second rail there.
An appetizing pot. Horrible cueing.
Yeah, good thing he's shooting to the right side of the 6. It's going to hamper him a bit, but not really attacking the cue ball. Well, it's much more than I anticipated.
Okay, coping ye.
We saw there how the green came away and went on top of the 8 ball. Once the green 6 had been missed, I'll tell you what, he's got to be delighted where it finished.
Yeah, and that's the common miss there, because you're trying to get some draw on the cue ball.
Extension code.
How big are these last 4 balls? 10-5 or 9-6 with the break as well. It's a huge difference.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out how I would play this kick shot here. I mean, there is technically enough room to possibly get in behind and make the 6-8 combination. You have to hit it with a lot of speed. And if you get in behind that 6, you know, who knows, but I might kick soft at this. I think there's some good things that can happen with a soft kick.
Power shoot. Bow
And that
hand.
wasn't one of them.
Start the clock,
I think the
please.
soft kick in really tight situations is overlooked at times, to be honest with you. Especially when there's some congestion near, like another ball, but I mean, he was in a tough spot. Really hard to knock anything you do there.
Yeah, he's done well finding that gap, by the way. That was the smallest of gaps for the cue ball.
Yeah, and he was obviously trying to get to the backside of the 6, trying to make that 6-8 combo, which is as good as anything else.
And without wishing to be unscientific, even though he's been the better player in the match, he does benefit from a kindly run, I think.
Oh, absolutely, he's got a few rolls, but you know, when you make some mistakes that are kind of glaring mistakes, usually.
We know the powers
Thank
of
you.
recovery.
Thank you. Rack 16, Copen need to break. Leading by 10 racks to 5.
We know that Eklent Kaçi is not out of this yet, but with every passing rack that falls to Copenhagen, it really does look as though Chinese Taipei will have the first ever World Masters champion from that island crowned.
This is a messy table. This is not going to help Kaci at all. He's 5 racks behind. Yeah. Again, third break on the spin for Cole, where it is a little too thin, isn't it, JJ? And often when the cue ball comes off towards the corner, you seem to get a lot of balls clustered, don't you?
Yeah, you catch it a little thin. You don't get much energy into the rack. You know, the cut break isn't like the head on, so it requires everything right, or at least let's say more right. And now he's got to keep his mental with such an ugly table. Looks like a rack you have to really fight to earn. Still knocking him in. This is going to track past and not do him any favors.
Just thinking, you know, rack 6 and rack 8. Eklent Kaçi broke dry, and immediately Copenhagen was at the table and he cleared. A very different dry break, this one.
That's why I was saying he really has to keep his mental on. Being jacked up here, he could get a kiss on this. I doubt it. It cleared easily. A nice shot there, though. Very containing. Didn't get the snooker, but smart shot. And I don't really know if there's any play here. Being elevated. I don't know if I send the 2 near all these other balls here, Carl. I may just try and cut the 2 to the end rail and bump the purple 5 with the cue ball. Just play it real simple and soft. Yeah, like even there, I mean, it's not great. I think that's what he was trying to do, but with everything so ugly, right? And a big lead.
Well, you say though it is an ugly table, but is there a gap where he can get on the 3 to break the 2 balls out? Have a look in a minute when we see the table. Yeah, you see where he's looking there?
Yeah.
He could
Absolutely.
cross, yeah, he could cross across the 7 ball and then that would run the cue ball into the pink.
Yeah, he's got to make a
Station
nice
code.
shot here to hit that little gap, and then he's got to make a nice shot on the 3. And maybe, like Carl say, roll the dice a little bit going into the brown 7 with the cue ball. He definitely sees what you saw, Carl. This is where you don't worry about getting too close. The angle means much more than the distance.
That looks okay as well.
Yeah. Now this, you got to kind of just feel what's going on and how the cue ball's coming off the red 3. Doesn't want to get into the 6. Wants to get into his right side of the brown 7 and then on into the pink 4. Yeah, I like that. A really good call, and this guy's made a few mistakes, but he's not running real well either.
It's just a fact the balls are conspiring against him, aren't they?
Yeah, he can avoid a kiss. He can come across with the cue ball, getting it behind the 6 if he wants. Looks like he's doing something different. Yeah, he better hope it doesn't hit a gap. Believe it maybe has. Still very good effort. I think this lays okay. Not easy, obviously, but just a high ball, maybe a hair of left English, not a lot. You'll come 2 rails inside the
Extension
purple
code.
5 to the center of the table, which is fine. With the 6 over the lower right, any shot on the purple 5 will do. I've always felt that Ko comes with that long shot almost as well as anyone.
Yeah, this is his trademark. You can see he's really gearing up for this shot. Almost like he's building himself up to take a penalty.
And again,
Phil.
Kaci can't buy a break.
He said this, Phil. There's a couple of shots here, isn't there, where he's just coming out the better end of it when he's missing.
I'll tell you, this is where you can kick either way, right? I know the pink 4's closer to this side pocket, but which one do you get a better feel for? The rail you're near or the rail going across? He's going to leave a gap.
And the body language of Eklent Kaçi, he's been very controlled all week. But you can see, yeah, he knows these spheres have been cruel.
Yeah, and because he's missed a couple of balls as well, that
Yeah, it's just the entire whole enchilada, as they say. I was wondering if you would queue up and go around the 7 here. Yeah, and what happens is you knock a little wind out of yourself, and then the rest of the unfortunate rolls knock the rest of the wind out of you. But again, you never know when it can turn.
The flu took, and then the efficiency of tidying up. It all means 11-5 is very much on the cards.
Open your wrist rock.
the man responsible for the biggest thumping of the tournament so far, beating Jason Shaw 9-1 straight out of the gate, is now in total command of the final, just 2 away. Can Eklent Kaçi turn this around? The finalist in the Whirlpool Masters, Shah K, lost out to Tony Drago. After that slice of ill
Rack
fortune for
17.
Eklent Kaçi,
Copy, need to break.
and the subsequent
Leading
clearance
by 11 racks to
from
5.
Ko Pin-Yi. Chinese Taipei just 2 racks away from lifting this most prestigious trophy.
Looks like the blue 2 and the cue ball are going to end up near each other. Good shot to start. Tricky position, that's for sure, but you gotta like Coach's chances of figuring out some position play to the red 3. The pink 4 on the opposite end, so a lot of work. Can he go around the 4 easily, Carl? And come some 3 rails inside the purple 5 and dropping down for the red 3. It's close.
Yeah, I think that looks quite nice actually. Kind of wants to hit where the line is, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's something you got to feel, because you're going to kind of create the angle a little bit with some speed and spin. Yeah, it's going to be pretty perfect.
It's an angle. And he does have one.
Yeah, he can stun the ball up the table and just take something around the side pocket with a cut on the pink 4.
Extension code.
Sure, we all thought this final was going to be a lot closer than it has been, but I'm afraid Kaci's just not quite been at the races, has he?
Yeah, his break really wasn't there like it's been all week.
Yeah, he's missed time to break. Missed a
Got
couple
on
of
top
balls.
of this. Tell you another thing too, though, he's been thoroughly punished for the 3 or 4 mistakes he's made. You know, they've been big ones that he hasn't made all week, but really good.
Wasn't it just when you surrender position, it's easy to feel the world's against you and drop your concentration level. He kept it. He accepted the fact that the white wasn't where it should have been, and then thought, well, there's nothing I can do about what I've just done. All I can do is keep the handcuffs on.
Yeah, when it comes to management at the table, the Ko brothers are some of the best. The 6 may throw in. It's still going to come open, but nothing easy.
No, but this lends itself to the trademark preparation from Ko. Just watch what he does here, because this is a big shot. He can pot it, just get the cue ball coming across below the 8, and just leave some sort of combination on the 5.
Yeah, and you see the arm swinging there in the screen. It's not a particular amount. I think it's like when I feel right, now I get down.
If you marginally overcut that shot, we've seen the ball has been repelled. If you marginally undercut it, then it goes in a lot more comfortably.
Yeah, especially when the stroke's pure. A lot of people don't realize how much margin for error the pros really kind of play with because of their cueing. Right-hander's going to probably stretch over, play the thin hit, and run the cue ball. I wouldn't try to get tricky here. Kaci, of course, probably not in the best of moods, and he's definitely not. He's not going to give in, of course, but you want to leave it just as difficult as you can. Perfect speed with the cue ball.
Twice out of position, Ko Pin-Yi. Twice he's accepted that and hooked.
And as they say back home, he gave Kaci somewhere to put his hand. Cue ball froze on the rail. He needs a good one here, just to kick this in and get something started.
Extension code.
And on the slick table, not the easiest hit, having to go past the side. Could spread on him a bit. I think he's still got to go to the side rail, though. Not really sure what else coming to this bottom cushion has to offer.
Yeah, I was with you, JJ. Don't really know how that could have, percentage-wise, worked out great, even though it has.
You can't begrudge him that, can you?
No. Does he try to move the 5 much? I doubt it. Just a little flick on the cue ball. Yeah, he was thinking more about behind the 9 and definitely on the rail with the rock. Treacherous shot here, I'll tell you. He's got to hit it well and get the speed right.
Just never fancied him for it, did you?
No. I thought he might just go ahead and let the stroke out, you know, and come all the way down with the cue ball, but
Poor old Eklent Kaçi, he so desperately needed a catalyst. We thought the 5 ball might be the spark. No. No, sir.
well, he's got the type of break to really make comebacks, right? Even in this format, difficult breaking format, but so far it just isn't to be.
Yeah, and he had to keep Ko off 12, didn't he? That was always going to be key. You feel Ko's going to get some sort of chance, and the way this match has gone, you just don't see a turnaround.
How about this? When Eklent Kaçi led 4-3, we all predicted, without exception, a very tight contest. It's not tight now, it's a runaway. Ko Pin-Yi on the hill at 12-5, one rack away from adding a World Masters title to the World 9-Ball Championship he won in 2015 when he overcame the great Shane Van Boening in the final. He's put together a wonderful CV, and it looks as though it's about to be enhanced. And that was the ball after which Eklent Kaçi had the sinking feeling From there, it was entirely routine, if being involved in a big final ever can be.
Rack 18, copy, need to break. Underhill.
Yep, it's just all been a bit much this final for Kaci. Breaking for the match. Yep, there's the one. Might well just be his best break of the match.
Thought we might end with a golden break. It's been a little the theme this week.
Yeah, the golden break early on in the event, they were just flying in, wasn't they? But they've sort of become a bit scarce, haven't they, near the end?
I've got a suggestion for pool terminology. If you knocked in a golden break in the final rack to win the event, it should be called a platinum break. It's more than golden.
Yeah, you gave me that one the other day, Phil. I'm okay with it. I really haven't. I haven't thought about it much since, but yeah, I'm okay with it. Still got a very big 2-ball here. Looks like a possible early winner, but oh, he's trying to get on this kiss shot, maybe. He's got choices. Kiss shot, he's kind of got to hit slowly, drawn across it with the hair spin. If he hits it hard, he could really entertain a double kiss and not get enough draw on the ball.
Yeah, he's playing the camera.
Quiet, mild-mannered, always polite, but in the moment of victory, out came all of those emotions. Ko-Pin Yi, last year's Asian Open champion, a former world 9-ball champion, adds the Whirlpool Masters to his CV. And boy, what a tough road it's been to the crown, beating Jason Shaw, Shane Van Boning, James Arenas, and now Eklent Kaçi. Didn't only beat him, he beat him comprehensively by 13 racks to 5. His reward, a first prize of $40,000 US. And Jeremy Jones, you have to say, over the whole piece, over the whole week, he was fully deserving of being numero uno.
Yeah, he started the week with the best match, and he ended the week with the best match, Phil. And, you know, hats off to Eklent Kaçi. He played a tremendous tournament. Just wasn't to be here this evening, but definitely a worthy champion in 2023 and possibly the strongest field ever here at the Whirlpool Masters.